All right, today we're going to dive into a story of incredible opportunity, but also immense struggle. It's all about a digital gold rush that's happening right now in Pakistan, where millions of people are logging on trying to build a future for themselves. But as you're about to see, striking digital gold is a whole lot harder than it sounds. So let's break it down. So, what's fueling this whole boom? Well, it all starts with this one number, 64%. That's how much of Pakistan's population is under the age of 30. We're talking about a massive, young, digitally native generation, totally ready and eager to plug into the global economy. This is the raw potential, the human engine that's driving the country's entire freelance scene. But here's the reality check. For every single person trying to get in on the action, there are thousands just like them. This chart, and it comes from a really deep academic study, shows that the two biggest hurdles freelancers face are, number one, just finding clients, and number two, the absolutely crushing competition. So yeah, the opportunity is huge, but the crowd is even bigger. And that really brings us to the central question we're tackling here. When it feels like the whole world is rushing to the same digital frontier, how does one person, or for that matter, an entire country, carve out a space to not just survive, but to actually thrive? To really get a handle on the scale of this whole thing, we've got to understand the dream first. I mean, why are so many people choosing this path? What's the big promise that's pulling them in? The study we're looking at actually puts a name to it. They call it the Freelancer Value Proposition, or FV for short. And this is the core idea, really. It's not just about the money. It's the whole package of benefits, the stuff you can touch and the stuff you can't, that makes freelancing look so good. And check this out. This shows one of the biggest parts of that value proposition, flexibility. A whopping 56% of freelancers work 4 hours a day or even less. So for a lot of people, this isn't just a job. It's a way to design a life that actually fits around their family or their studies or whatever else they've got going on. And then, of course, there's the economic power. This quote from a freelancer in the study manages cuts right to the heart of it. When the local economy is struggling, earning in dollars is like having a financial shield. It gives you a kind of stability that a regular rupee-based salary just can't compete with. So you put it all together, and the dream is really built on these four pillars. You get autonomy, you're the boss. You get economic power, you're earning in strong foreign currency. You get flexibility, you control your own time. And you're always developing new skills by working with clients from all over the world. It's a seriously powerful mix. But, for every dream, there's always a wake-up call. So now let's flip the coin and look at the other side, the daily grind and the huge systemic hurdles that can turn that dream into a total nightmare. Okay, so this is where the action is. The huge majority of freelancers are all fighting for the same jobs on just a handful of massive platforms. We're talking Upwork and Fiverr, mostly. These places are the gateways to the global market, sure, but they're also the biggest battlegrounds. And this, right here, this is the central paradox. Get this. A staggering 82% of freelancers say they have trouble finding work on these platforms. So the very places they have to be to get work are also the places where it's the hardest to succeed. It's just an incredibly crowded market. Right, so let's say you beat the odds. You land the gig, you do the work. Awesome. Now you've reached the next boss level. Actually getting your hands on the money. And trust me, it's not as simple as a direct deposit. It is a complex and, honestly, a super frustrating puzzle. Just look at this breakdown. That $100 project you just finished, it gets chipped away at every single step. First, the platform takes its cut, sometimes up to 20%. Then a payment gateway, like Payoneer, takes a fee. Then your own local bank might take a fee. Because services like PayPal aren't available in Pakistan, you get this multi-layered system that just eats away at a freelancer's hard-earned cash. And the challenges don't just stop online. The study points out some major problems with basic infrastructure. I mean, just imagine trying to meet a tight deadline for a client in New York when you're dealing with 8 to 10-hour power cuts every day, or your internet is just completely unstable. And on top of all that, freelancers have basically no legal recognition, which means no access to worker protections, no health insurance, no pension plans, nothing. So with a reality this tough, what does the future even hold? The daily grind is one thing, but there are these bigger, kind of existential questions looming on the horizon that are going to define the next wave of gig work. One of the biggest risks the research points to is this idea of a digital brain drain. It's like a modern twist on an old problem. Instead of people physically leaving the country for better opportunities, now Pakistan's brightest minds are dedicating all their skills and energy to building companies and economies abroad, all from their laptops at home. Now, the study shows there are two sides to this argument. On the one hand, some folks say it's not a brain drain at all, it's a brain gain. It brings in valuable foreign cash, helps build up a local IT infrastructure. But on the other hand, experts are warning that if all your most talented people are only working for foreign clients, you could end up with a serious talent shortage for your own local businesses. And then, of course, there's the elephant in the room, AI. Artificial intelligence is already automating a lot of the lower skill tasks that used to be the entry point for freelancing. The study is crystal clear on this. The future belongs to people who can adapt, who can upskill, and who can learn to work with AI, not against it. Survival isn't just about being online anymore. It's about staying way ahead of the curve. So with all these challenges, what's the solution? Is there a way out? Well, the final part of the study actually lays out a pretty clear path forward. It's all about building a better, more supportive ecosystem for all these freelancers. And here are the big takeaways, the key recommendations. First, you've got to fix the payment problem. Bring in services like PayPal. Second, regulate all those private training centers to make sure they're actually teaching skills that matter. Third, change the labor laws to officially recognize freelancers and give them some protections. And finally, you have to invest in the basics, reliable power and stable internet. And this quote, it just brings it all home. It shows you why this is all so important. This isn't just about individuals trying to make a buck. Freelancers see themselves as patriots. They feel like they're working for their country, bringing in that badly needed foreign money and lifting up their whole community. Their success is Pakistan's success. Which really leaves us with this final thought. In a country with really high youth unemployment, the global gig economy offers a powerful lifeline. But a lifeline isn't enough to build a future on. The real question is whether Pakistan can build the bridges of infrastructure, of policy, of education that are needed to turn that lifeline into a secure, sustainable highway to its digital future.